I wouldn't say I have too much anxiety, but I think the anxiety that I have is being leveled out by everyone else's because it's such a scary thing, and I think everyone else is on the same level as me, so I don't feel as scared, I think.
There's so much stress and anxiety and sadness and just frustration about what the future will hold. There seems like every day there's like just more layers of hurt and frustration, and I don't know.
Well, my brother and I still work. He works retail, and I'm a sanitation person, so it gives my mom a lot of anxiety when we come home. We can't walk in the house with our shoes on. We have to leave them outside, and we have to leave our jackets outside. And then as we get in, we have to, literally run to the shower and clean ourselves before we can talk to anyone or touch anything.
My husband is an essential worker, so he's out every day. It feels frustrating what is deemed essential and what isn't. It's so busy at my store all the time, and I'm like, oh my god, go home. Like, I really don't understand, why everyone, just because there's a quarantine order, everyone's, taking advantage of the fact that we can go to the grocery store, and people are coming in to the grocery store just for fun and, spending all this money they don't have because nobody's working, and it's just so much craziness. When I'm in my house for weeks and weeks at a time, and I'm just being fed news, it gets scary. The world feels smaller.
I don't think that my neighbors would have the same amount of anxiety. Actually, my dad just had a conversation the other day with one of the neighbors, and she was like, I'm not afraid of this. This is stupid. And I was like, oh, my God.
We're not super buddy-buddy with everyone. I would say, my neighbors we are, but as far as the whole block goes, it's not, super close, but it's just enough to where it's, a good community, if that makes sense. One thing I love about living here is that it feels like it's like a big small town, or where I feel like I can go out and go all about my business all day long to stores and shops, and maybe I'd see somebody I knew, but most of the time I don't. But I could also go to the library or go someplace and see and still get that small town feel too. We're not a village or anything to where every single person. It is still a pretty big town. For me, if you isolate it to a high school or a workplace, then yes, gossip and rumors spread very fast. People are friendly in this town. They are. But they're also very judgmental. I've seen posts where people are like, I saw two kids at the park and they were standing 3 feet apart from each other, and then somebody was like, call the police. So, I mean, and the amount of people complaining about businesses being open that they don't think are essential. And it's kind of surprising and kind of amazing to me. Everyone's super watchful, more than you'd expect.
No, I haven't seen people policing themselves or policing others. Maybe this is just a vibe around here, but it's kind of like you turn your eye from things and you pretend not to see it. That's what happens a lot around here.
My mom's told me about people, she's at work with, and them saying how, they saw some kids at the park and she rolled down her window as she was driving by and yelled at them. People are very flippant in throwing businesses and individuals going into businesses under the bus.
Yeah, at what point do you rat someone out over money in this time? Or over a job.
I think if you had more than 5 cars on the street, someone would call the police. Whether the police would come or not, I'm not sure. I haven't heard of any situations where they're actually getting involved.
The people love to party next to us, and they just had a quote-unquote small gathering. And there was no cops, but it was alarming because it's what the fuck are you doing? Even with that scenario, what would the cops do? Put you in prison or give you a fine? Can they do that? What are the laws around that,
In the sense that there was a government issued quarantine order and social distancing order, I definitely think that they could totally intervene and totally kick everyone out of the space that people are convening in because of that broken sort of rule that was set in place by the government.
I think as the numbers go up, I think moods will start to change, and how people react to other people will start to change too. I think right now it's just like this weird awareness.
Our county has only had like 200 cases or 300 cases, and there's only been like 3 deaths, which means that our county is not super affected yet.
The sort of like control was more increased. I definitely think not only my community, but I think every community would be like taking it upon themselves to like keep a closer watch and to speak up more than they usually would.
I think people will just turn their frustrations over to the police department, but if the anxiety gets really elevated and people don't start to lose faith in their police department, then I could see that.
Because all that's in the media, or that's like choking the media right now, is COVID. So all of these things are being passed that people don't even realize are happening. So I don't know. It could go. I don't know. It could go to dystopian, but I don't know. I just think like long term, this is gonna fuck us up really bad.